We all know the story in 1969 when 3 brave men left Earth in the Apollo 11 space capsule and landed on the moon for the very first time. But a lesser known story is told by Matthew Brennan Wood in his book about how the Cold War put men on the moon. The Apollo 1 mission was supposed to launch in February of 1967 when a fire broke out and killed all 3 men aboard, shaking the entire nation. Now these are 2 sides of the same coin, and that coin is astrophysicism. But there is a good side to astrophysicism. Like new technologies are invented and eventually used in everyday life, and it boosts the economy. But astrophysicism needs your support. There are things that everybody can do, like lobbying the government to put more money towards space exploration, or even volunteering at NASA. Now, I've been studying and pursuing a career in astrophysics, and all of my findings are extremely credible. They either come from official NASA information, history from a credible educational institution, facts from a reliable author, and even an interview with laudable astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. Astrophysicism should be more heavily supported if we want our society to advance and improve in any way. So today I'll be talking about what astrophysicism is, what it's done for us in the past, what it can do for us in the future, and what we can do every day. So let's begin with the most crucial question of all. What is astrophysicism? It's the study of the movement of celestial bodies. It even has some theoretical physics like that involve black holes and the fabric of time and space, and quantum mechanics involved with gravity. We apply it to tracking the flight paths of celestial bodies and man-made objects, and we further our understanding of lesser-known subjects. We also discovered new things when we first started using it, like how the universe is expanding or that the galaxy is moving throughout the universe. We use it to ensure rockets don't collide with each other and to calculate when asteroids or solar flares are coming near us, and we find when planets and moons are closest to Earth. So then why do we still need to advance and find further research in it? Well, some equations are inefficient and a little bit inaccurate. And the more we discover, the more we find we don't actually have equations for. We need to create new and re-engineer new equations. So now that we know what astrophysicism is and how we use it, we can understand what it's done for us in the past. How has astrophysicism helped us in the past? Well, going back to Wood, during the Cold War, he writes, as World War II came to an end, a new world took shape. The United States and the Soviet Union raced to assert themselves while the threat of a different kind of war loomed. This, of course, was the nuclear war, and it brought about the space race. Now, the space race was the US and Soviet Union racing to see who would get into space first. And the Soviet Union won with the first man-made satellite, Sputnik. And they also got the first dog in space. And they also got the first man in space. But the US had their sights set on something completely different. The moon. We wanted to be the first to put a man on the moon. Now, after the failed Apollo missions, more research was done, and eventually the successful Apollo 11 mission happened and gave the American people so much hope and boosted the economy. How is it still in effect today, you might ask? Well, new inventions were brought about. Just like Dr. Gary L. Deal says, the challenges of space exploration act as a catalyst for innovation and drive advancements which leads to cutting-edge developments and many scientific breakthroughs benefiting society as a whole. Some things that came about from Apollo include some things you may have heard of, like memory foam, scratchless lenses, prosthetic limbs, wireless products like tools and headsets, satellites and GPS. And even because of this, we were able to go to space more frequently. And things like the ISS, missions to Mars came about. And we can now see into the outer reaches of space with things like Voyager and the James Webb and Hubble Space Telescopes. We've learned so much more than we could have about what black holes are and pictures of other planets and how stars are formed and what they are. And while all the effects of space exploration are still in effect today, we can still gather even more information in the future. So what will it do for us in the future? Well, like NASA says, the more we know about the universe, the more we know about ourselves. We learn more about our universe with space exploration, like microbacterial life, other planets suitable for life, and solar flares, as well as wormholes. Now, wormholes are entirely theoretical, but entirely possible. Say you have the closest planet to Earth that can suit life. It'll take over 1,000 years to get there, traveling at the speed of light. So we take Earth and that point, put them together with the fabric of space, and just punch a hole directly through them to get from one point to the other instantly. It's seen here. Because we can go from one spot to the other without going through all of this. Now, before we go there, let's talk about why we shouldn't just focus on one destination. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson said in an interview when asked about it, he said, if all you do is say, let's go here, then what happens when you go there? What's next? This is not exploration. The moon landing wasn't just about one destination. It was about kickstarting our entire space exploration and exploration of the universe. We just had to get a small start and get a bunch of people to get on board at first. And there's so much that we can learn from space, but how can just an everyday citizen help us achieve that goal? Well, you can spend a little bit of time with NASA, volunteer or intern as a researcher, mathematician, physicist, whatever. You can work in research or work-based ways. You can also push for more government spending on NASA. So many experiments are just waiting to happen because of funding. Let's say this dollar bill represents the annual budget for the US. Let's zoom in on this little part right here, and that is the entire NASA budget. You can multiply it 7 times and you're not even in the green of a dollar bill. And yet space exploration has brought us so much. Now, as I come to a close, I want you to consider everything that I've discussed with you. Astrophysicism is such an overlooked aspect of humanity since it's helped us advance in so many ways. And if we don't want to come to a standstill as a society, we need to invest more of our attention and interest into it. I've talked to you about what astrophysicism is. It's the study of celestial bodies, and we use it to ensure rockets don't collide with anything. And we learn more about our universe. We learn more about stars and planets, black holes, and we discussed how it helped us in the past. It helped us put a man on the moon and kickstart our entire space exploration. It brought us new inventions and encouraged us to go back to space for the ISS, space telescopes, missions to Mars. We talked about what it can do for us in the future. We can learn more about space and thus ourselves. We learn about antimatter, new materials, wormholes. We don't just explore one part of the universe, we explore all of it. And finally, I told you a few things you can do to help further astrophysicism by volunteering or pushing the government to spend more. Before I go, I'd like to leave you to ponder this quote from the American Public University by Dr. Deal. The exploration of space showcases humanity's curiosity and our determination to conduct research and overcome challenges. New technologies in the space race, such as the Apollo moon landings, the James Webb Space Telescope, robotic spacecraft, the Space Shuttle program, and the construction of the International Space Station, not only demonstrated the capabilities of human innovation, but they also left an everlasting impact on all of us. Thank you. Okay.
I think that was good.
I think my phone's about